Take your shoes off at the door. Yeah, we getting real. Talking all the things they say you shouldn't feel. From locker room truths to Capitol lies.
She's out today.
Hey,
Look who joined us today.
we
All
are
the way
in the building. We are in the building.
Yes, sir.
Looky here.
Look
Look,
who we got.
got our beautiful host keeping things going there, color coordinated with the earth tones on the couch.
Right.
Got her feet up, shoes off. Just see, this is how we do it in shoes off. And not broadcasting, but I'm coming live from Pattaya, Thailand. How's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm excited about today's talk. I think the topic will either inspire a lot of people or get us on a watch list. So, it'll be good.
Do one of them.
Or inspire to get us on a watch list. Yeah, I'm super excited about today's topic because I think it's something that's really trending, especially in the environment and the world we live in. Mainly, the common denominator being the U.S. and political decisions that are being made that are affecting not just U.S. citizens but people abroad. And I
Why
think
don't we
people are
get
getting to the
into
point.
what the topic is?
Oh,
Let's get into that.
the topic, the basic topic. We didn't officially come up with a name. I usually leave that up to Floyd. Floyd didn't hit me with a official name, so we're gonna call it the mass exodus of the U.S.
Okay.
Mass exodus of the U.S. Okay.
And like I said, the reason why I really wanted to talk about that is that I'm really shocked. I occasionally do lives from here just to kind of keep people informed and kind of do my check in with, loved ones and people that I have in the US to where they can see me. Because a lot of times we get news secondhand, especially when it comes to the US and its media. Pretty much we probably get 10 or 15% of what is truly going on. I'm getting people hitting me up saying, "Hey, are you okay? I heard it was a big earthquake there." I'm like, no, there's no earthquake here, but I do know the programming. We've all been a part of it. This big idea that the U.S. is this big conglomerate place that everybody in the world is trying to get to, and it's so much better than everywhere else. And on a scale, the U.S. is way up here, and everybody else is down here.
Right.
But to those of us who have traveled, like you guys have, and seen the world, you understand that that is the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, I feel like everyone comes out here for the American dream with the house and the white picket fence, and really they just want emotional stability and groceries that aren't $1,000 a week.
Right. I mean, but
Oh my God.
But does that really? Is there such thing as an American dream? Is it really American dream?
I mean, I
Well,
feel
that's
like
the
that's what it
title
used to
that
be.
Yeah, well, that's the title that it was given to us during the whole programming because it gave us a goal. And in order to do anything, you have to have that goal. And that is the goal. And what's so sad about that goal is it really, really, truly affects people emotionally, spiritually, and physically because we all have our lives planned on a calendar that we will be married at a certain age, we would have kids at a certain age. Like you said, we'd have the car and the house with the picket fence at a certain age. We'd be settled into a career at a certain age. And when you don't achieve those things, there becomes a mad scramble. You start serial dating. You start, buying things that you really can't afford, but because you're at that point in life where you're supposed to have these things already, then we start, really overselling ourselves and really stretching the limits of every aspect of our lives. And it sucks because that's when you start getting into the things that they've really kind of evolved over time to kind of control us. And that's like credit. You know, we start mass using credit, and now we become a slave to the society that has programmed us. When and when you move abroad and move to different places, most places have no idea what credit is. Like
Mm.
here, credit, they know of credit because of the Western mentality in places that the very few places that really use credit.
Mhm.
Other
Now,
than that, like
just for our viewers, so they understand, Tim is someone who's lived in the U.S. for a long time, just recently moved to Thailand. So you are right in the middle of learning the differences between living in Thailand and the United States.
yes, and there's a significant difference between visiting a place and actually living there. Um, I have been coming back and forth since late 2023, early 2024. So it's been about 2 or 3 years now. Formally got my place the last time I was here about a year ago. Um, because I knew the whole time, almost from day one, that this would be, I wouldn't say my final destination because I'm also looking at getting a second place in Africa, so I can spend time in both places. Um, but I know, unless God says something different, I know my time in the US is up. Um, when I come back to the US, it will be as a visitor. And so I may be knocking on you and Floyd's door to sleep on a couch or what have you. But I will be coming back as a guest. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy the time and the teachings and the relationships and all of that stuff that I developed because that's what really kind of molded me. Um, but when you get a chance to go places and not just go as a tourist, but really see how the natives live,
Mhm.
and then you start doing that side by side comparison of like their economy, our economy, the cost of goods, the lifestyle, the health benefits, like, and you start like, okay, the US is supposed to be this big, beautiful place that everybody wants to go to, but when you start weighing the pros and cons, you're like, golly, there's a lot of cons to living in the US.
Talk about the health benefits. I saw a video that you posted of the hospital, and here we're led to believe that Thailand is like a third world country,
Right.
and the hospital looks like a
Yeah.
freaking mall.
Right.
There's
Yes.
chandeliers and escalators, and holy cow.
You have to understand that I'm in Pattaya, Thailand, which is about an hour and 45 minutes, I think, south of Bangkok, which Bangkok is, the capital of Thailand. But it's also um, it's the big city. There's Tucson and then there's Phoenix. Like there's a significant difference,
Yeah.
and that's really and truly. I wouldn't compare Pattaya to Tucson, though. Maybe I could have picked a better city, but no shade to Tucsonians. But Pattaya is a very beautiful place. A lot of people are actually moving away from Bangkok into Pattaya because Pattaya gives you a little bit of everything that you can get in other places like Chiang Mai and Bangkok and all of these other smaller cities. I always tell people because I'm getting an influx of people that are really inquiring about coming either to retire here or to visit. And I haven't lived in all those places, but from what I'm hearing from people that have lived in those places, um, Pathia is that place that gives you everything. If you're coming out here as a retired person, it gives you an amazing retired lifestyle. If you're coming out here as a single person, You also have that lifestyle. If you're coming out here as a family, a business professional, it just gives you all of that in one place without the congestion of Bangkok, which has 14 million people. Um, to go freaking 3 blocks in Bangkok during, most times of the day, it'll probably take you 30 to 45 minutes just because of traffic. And you spoke about the hospitals. The healthcare here is on a whole nother level. Thailand is considered to be one of the top places people go for healthcare. Give you an example. I posted the video of me being in the hospital, and that's a nice hospital, but it's nowhere near like the nicest of the hospitals. Like you walk into a lot of these hospitals, especially when you go to Bangkok, and they look futuristic. Like you're like I I would say like a Scottsdale Fashion Mall. Is like you're walking into Scottsdale Fashion Mall. Like everything is there. You can grocery shop, you can clothes shop, you can, it's just so high tech and so upper echelon. Um, and on my hospital visit, I had 2 X-rays. Um, I did a 30 to 40-minute consultation with my doctor, who was amazing. Um, he literally set me down and we talked like as if we're talking right now. And like I said, it took 45 minutes. I had 2 X-rays done. Um, and I'm waiting on my military benefits to give them to cover the cost. But in the meantime, I paid up front, and it literally for 2 X-rays, a 45-minute consultation was $130.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
That's
crazy.
it?
one
Oh
hundred
my.
and thirty, roughly 4,000 baht, which
Yeah.
4,000 baht equates to probably like $130, a little bit over $130.
So that's definitely a reason to move to Thailand or
Mm-hmm. Just out of
seek medical care somewhere else.
right.
But what are the other reasons you think people are leaving America?
For those initial ones that we talked about are the ones that have not yet been here to experience the spirituality of it. Like someone like yourself, who's very connected, grounded, rooted. Um, have you've been to Thailand, haven't you?
I have not.
Oh, you have. Oh my goodness.
No, I've been in contact
So
with a retreat in Thailand that I might be doing one out there in Thailand, but I have not been there yet. So,
so I say it like this, and for most people know the story of how I ended up in Thailand. Um, Two of my really longtime friends of 30 plus years, we share our birthdays are within 10 days of each other. Mine is the 2nd of September, one's the 5th of September, and the other one's, I think, the 10th or 11th of September. And we rarely do it because we live in different parts of the US. Like I'm in Arizona, one's in Boston, another one's in Texas, and he moves around quite a bit. Um, and so they hit me up early 2023 and was like, "Hey, let's do a guys trip." I'm like, "Bet." And for you guys know that was the thick of me going through all
Mm-hmm.
of what I was really going through at the time. And so a trip out of the country was like heaven sent. I'm like, yeah, I'll take 2 of those. And needless to say, because of what I was going through at the time, I couldn't go. And so it just the timing wasn't right. And so the next year, I reached out to him and said, "Hey, what's the deal? I'm coming." Come to find out, they had never left from the previous year.
oh,
And
wow.
so my question to them is, we've all traveled the world. Like we've been all over the world. One has been to every corner of the world. The other one is ex NFL, so he's traveled quite a bit. Me, I've traveled a lot. And so that was my question is like, out of all the places we could go, especially as single dudes, like we could go to DR, we could go to Colombia, we can
Hmm.
go, we can go to all of these places,
Right.
of course, where I've already been. But those are like guys' trips, like guy trips. And
Right.
so I'm like, okay, all right, I haven't been to Asia, no parts of Asia at all. And I was like, okay, that'd be an experience. Let me do that. And so I asked them, I said, hey, why Thailand? And they're already like a year in. And so I can hear the pause in their voices and they both resoundingly said, Tim, we can explain it to you, but we rather you experience it for yourself. And you guys, I was so excited when I was on the flight, taking a trip. It was the farthest I've ever been. The longest flight I had ever taken was to Dubai, and it was 14 hours. And so I'm staring 18 to 20 hours in the face, like, and y'all know the way these knees are set up.
Yeah.
Ah,
Look, I'm like, oh my goodness. But when I touched down in Bangkok, when I tell you the there was an energy and a vibe that I had never ever experienced in my 54 years at the time, 55 years of living. And I was like, then you start doing a like evaluation. Okay, maybe it's just I'm just glad to be away from the US. I'm glad to be on vacation. Maybe that's the excitement of it. But as I moved around the city once I got here, I'm like, you know how you go somewhere where you haven't been in a long, especially when it comes to home. I know a lot of us, Floyd, Phoenix is home for Floyd.
Hmm.
Phoenix is pretty much home for you. But the places where, like myself, where I grew up, you go back to those places and there's a level of familiarity, but if you've been gone a while, there's a level of unfamiliarity.
Right.
This felt like I came home. Like
Mm.
it felt like I had already lived here and was forced to leave. And now I made it back. That was the feeling that I had in my heart, in my spirit. And then the connectivity that I had, like it just like moving around the city when I first got here, it felt like, honey, I'm home. I'm back. And then when I got to, really hang out and talk with the natives here, it just took it to a whole nother level. Like when I tell you, not some of the nicest people, but the nicest people you would ever meet, like suspiciously nice. You know how our kids are like, hey, mom, how was your day? Dad, you look amazing. The first thing we're going to say is, what, boy, girl, what you want?
Yep.
What do you want? You ain't never greeted me like that. It was suspiciously nice. Like, I'm looking over my shoulder like, is somebody coming to is this a setup? Am I about to be robbed? Am I being punked? What's going on? And then as I move around the city, I'm just like, that's who they are. Like, and I go out at night and I leave the club and I go to 7-Eleven is like the grocery store here. Like how we shop at grocery stores, that's how they shop at 7-Elevens. But you have to understand that they have like healthy food at 7-Eleven. People go to 7-Eleven for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like
Wow.
I've stocked my refrigerator with items all from 7-Eleven. And that's how healthy, when I'm back in the US, you do it as well. I'm sure Floyd does it. We label checking. Like, well, I want to see
Yes.
what's in this and this and
Hmm.
that. By my second trip out here, I stopped looking at labels because I understood that everything probably wasn't the best for you, but it was 100% healthier than what we are getting in the US. And the sad part about it is, and this is really sad, is that they carry the same brands that we carry. But when you do the side by side comparison of the ingredients, our ingredients look like something in a science project. Words you can't pronounce, words that you may be familiar with, and it's only because they're on YouTube or social media telling you how bad they are. Aspartame, rat poisoning, and all of these different things. Then you look at their label, and it's like, I can make this at home with what I have in my cabinet.
That's like when I went to Europe, I noticed that too. It'll have like, you'll have Doritos here and you'll have Doritos there. The Dorito ingredient list here is like the entire bag. When you go to Europe or another country, it's like this much. There's like 2 ingredients.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
completely
different.
And I ate my first bag of Doritos in probably, I want to say 20 years.
Damn.
I ate my first bag of Doritos here probably a week ago.
Oh, you don't
And
Tim, before you finish that, I want to say this before I forget. When you come, I want some of those high chews.
So, who?
High chews. The high chews.
Floyd been on the internet. What is that, Floyd?
Well, no, well, you had brought some before from out there, and then so now I want.
What were they?
It was the high chews.
I'm trying to think of
the candy. Is it candy or gum or something like that?
And he let you try them?
Yeah.
Oh! You know what they are? Mentos. The flavored Mentos that come in like
right. That's what it
the
was.
berry, but they also come in just the peppermint.
Yeah.
But I got addicted to those out here because I don't eat candy there.
Right. Because I was like, because I was comparing the ingredients from the ones that's here compared to the ones out there, and I was like, oh wow,
the ingredients crazy. It's crazy when you're used to seeing so many ingredients, things you have no idea what it is, you can't even pronounce, and you eat it anyway. You have no idea what you're putting into your body, and you're still gonna eat it. And then you go to another country, and the ingredients is like, four things on that ingredient list. It's crazy, and it's all stuff that you can understand, you can pronounce.
Yeah, it's crazy because I bought 2 Snickers the other day. Like, when I tell you, y'all, I haven't eaten candy in years. I bought a Snickers, and it, from what I remember, it don't taste like the Snickers back. It just, the food, like, you got to understand, like, the food tastes different. Like, it tastes, you're like, you eat something that you've either been eating forever in the US and you come here and you eat it, you're like, is something wrong with this? Why does it taste so different? Even the meats and everything taste completely different. And then, like, the colors of our food, we're so used to our eggs being yellow. Like, we're like, okay, that's what an egg. No, an egg isn't supposed to be yellow. Like, and you start looking at these different foods. Like, when I tell you I have a ton of food allergies, just allergies in general. I did an allergy panel with my primary care physician, and literally, y'all, I had a list of things when it comes to, just, vegetation and foods and, air, everything. I'm allergic to everything. And at the bottom of this list, she wrote, "Damn, Tim, you're allergic to the world." Like, literally, y'all, I'm looking at this list and I'm like, I literally, with all the allergens that I had on that list, I should be walking around looking like Will Smith from Hitch when he had that allergic reaction and his eye was swollen. Like, and then to come here and to be able to eat all the things that I cannot eat. in the US. Like I'm drinking regular milk.
Wow.
I had to stop eating vegetables years ago because of the pesticide treatments and everything that's on the vegetables was causing my gums to swell really bad, causing my throat to close. Um, and so you have to understand, like it was a stretch. It took me 1 or 2 trips out here to have the nerve to be like, hey, I want to eat everything that I can't eat in the US. And so I did, and I still kind of stay away from the dairy, um, but to know that I can eat, like I had a pizza last night. Y'all have to understand,
Mm.
like I had pizza when I went to London, Paris, and when I travel, but I ate like a whole pizza. You know how long it's been in the US since I had a pizza?
And your stomach was probably not bloated afterwards like it would be in the US, huh?
Zero bloating with zero food
Mm.
that I've eaten out here. No bloating at all. No bloating at all. Like I told you guys that my first time out here, I was so caught up in sightseeing and moving around the city,
Right, right.
I never had a chance to make it to the gym. And I was out here for a little bit over 30 days, my first trip
Hmm.
out here. And in those 30 days, I still lost 13 pounds just eating like regular good food. Like, um, but yeah, it's and I'm running into more and more. They call them expats, people that are moving out here from other places. It's really becoming a big thing, and like I said, I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up about moving out here, and so I wanted to do this, as an informative podcast, but also just to let people know, what's coming down the pipeline for us, for you guys in the US is like we thought the 2025 initiative was bad. The 2030, I've had an opportunity to really kind of look into that with the connections that I have in government and different places. Y'all, it's going to get bad by 2030. Like
Tell us
they're
about it.
looking they're looking without really getting too far into things that aren't already information that's out there. Um they're and people aren't really paying attention. Spirit and Frontier are no longer.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the 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 economic means of travel, if you didn't have the money to get on like the
Right, right,
mainstream airlines. Frontier and Spirit could get you there,
right.
and they were actually boosting up the quality of these flights and the airlines and all of that. And then magically, all of a sudden, oil and gas prices go through the roof, and then Spirit and Frontier is out of business. And really, nobody really raised the eyebrow at it other than, oh man, they needed a bailout. And they could no, there's a plan behind all of this. And what that does, it takes away the opportunities for people that may be on a budget or, like I said, can't fly, the mainstream. You no longer have that availability now. And so what they're looking at, oil and gas prices aren't at its peak yet. They're going to steadily climb, and they're saying by the year 2030, only the elites are going to be able to travel. And you guys, we got to understand that we're in the middle of 2026, so we're talking 3.5 years from now. We're not talking futuristic. uh and they're pretty much going to price people out of home ownership, um and to where it's going to be impossible to live. um and with the agitation of what we're doing to these other countries are so far are far so far advanced of us, and our technology is, you guys have heard the threats of cyber attacks. We've
Mm-hmm.
had some small ones, I've shot a text out to you and Floyd, when my connect hits me with the, hey, go ahead and grab $300 out of your bank and gas
Mm-hmm.
up, or go grab
Right,
water.
right,
I'm giving
right,
you
right,
guys
right.
heads up on this stuff, and it's coming, you guys. And so, my plea is to anyone that is looking to move out of the country. Yes, I'm an advocate of Thailand, but there's so many other places um, that are giving homage to U.S. citizens, because um, we we have the ability, based on the things that we've been exposed to in places like Pattaya, Thailand, and other small places, where they want our ingenuity, they want our know-how to come to these places to grow them. And um, I get a lot of people, saying, I won't say excuses because that sound insensitive. Um, but they're saying, oh, I need to wait till my child, graduates high school or graduates college. I need to wait for this and I need to wait for that. And I get it. I I was blessed to be in a really good situation that allowed me uh, to move about. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, it's easy to do. If you're moving to Thailand, you need to either be working remotely, or really be a digital nomad. And all that means is that you have the availability to work from anywhere in the world, whether you're working for yourself or you're working for a company. But when you talk about relocating, the one advice that I do give to people that are looking to move here, because you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to go work at Home Depot, because they don't, you can't do that. Like, um, and I get it, and I love that for them, is that they have their jobs protected for the natives here. Um, I say, at least have a residual income of 2 to 3 thousand if you're a single person. If you're a single mom like yourself with a couple kids and you're talking about relocating, I would say have at least 4,000 in residual income every month, um, because you can get a really nice 3 bedroom here for $800, $700 a month. Um, Food for a family of three would probably run you probably between 800 and 1,000 a month, and that's eating really good. Um, so a family of three could really survive here off of 40, and thrive here off of 4,000, a residual income of 4,000 a month, meaning that regardless of what happens, you had that income coming in. Um, and people are doing it. There's single people here that are living off of $1,500 a month, and thriving, and thriving. My place that I live in now is a really nice place, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. I'm in the center of the city. I'm no more than 15 minutes from everything in the city. I live in a lovely community. I'm paying uh, about $700 a month. That doesn't include my utilities. You add another maybe $60 on top of that in utilities and everything. But an apartment like this, a condo like this in the US, even in Arizona, which doesn't have it's gradually getting high, but it doesn't have like one of the highest cost of livings in the US. But this apartment in the US, in Arizona, would roughly be about 2,500 a month. 2,000, between 2,000 and 2,500 a month, easily, in a night, especially if it was in Scottsdale or Gilbert.
Yeah,
Definitely 2,500.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 2,500. And so I encourage people, I don't truly say that you should have an escape plan, but I would really keep my eyes open, because things aren't just happening by chance. Um, there's a goal. One of the main goals is really depopulation. Um, and what I would do is I would I would try to access the type of internet that allows you to really, the dark web is definitely a place. And I know, you guys have the availability to get information from me and other people, but it's going to get worse before it gets better in the US. And I hate that for my loved ones, for my friends, and really anybody.
What's the visa process like in Thailand? Because it's like you can't stay there just permanently, can you? Or don't you have to like come back? What is it like?
Well, your passport gives you 60 days. So you come here just on your passport alone, you can stay here for 60 days. What a lot of people are doing so they don't have to get a visa, which they eliminated. But what you used to be able to do is you used to be able to make border runs to like the Philippines or different places, go across the border, spend a day, come right back. It starts the 60 days over. They did away with that. So you can no longer do what they call border runs. But what you can do is they have the availability to where you can go down to immigration toward the end of your 60 days and get a 30-day extension, which will then give you 90 days. But then you used to be able to get continuous extensions, but now they limit that to where after your 90 days, you can only get 7 days. My recommendation to anybody that's looking to move anywhere, spend at least, if you can go somewhere for 3 weeks to a month, go there and spend some time, because we have an innate habit of when we go places, we only want to do touristy stuff. Go see how the natives live, and that will tell you what life is really like in these places. But for me, it was there. The process to get a visa is actually super easy. Like it just requires you, like for a retirement, if you're 50 and over, it's easier for me to explain the retirement visa, because that's what I have now. The re, the retirement visas, if you're 50 and over, you can get a retirement visa, and you can do yearly, you can do 5 year, you can do 10 year, and there's a 20 year. I did the 5 year. I did the 5 year, um, which it's called. You have the non-O and you have the non-OA visa. The difference between the two is they both have the same benefits. The non-OA visa, you have to apply for it outside of Thailand. You can't apply for it while you're here. The non-O visa, you can apply for it while you're here, and that's what I have. I have the non-O visa. And surprisingly, the basic requirements for it is, you have to have a residential address, a place where you're staying. You also have to have a Thai number, and they ask you to bring in the receipt of your Thai number, of the purchase of your phone, Thai phone. They also want to see your passport, and your lease agreement. And when I tell you guys, it's probably getting a place, really getting anything here is probably the simplest process that, like I spoke about earlier, when it comes to credit, there's no such thing. Like if you came here next week, got on a plane, came out here, fell in love with it, like, hey, I want to get a summer home here. Like, okay. I'd be like, okay, well, let me get you to my realtor. She would take you to see some places, ask you what you think. You was like, I love it. Well, you can get it today.
Wow.
Uh, I don't need any proof of income. I don't need, you don't need to pull a
Taxes.
credit report. You don't need, a rental history. No. Literally the process, once I picked the place out, took 11 minutes for me. They told me what the amount was. I negotiated, my rent. Everything's negotiable out here, y'all. Just so you know. I negotiated my monthly rent amount. So it literally was first month's, last month's security deposit, which is the equivalent. It's all the same amount.
Right.
You give that to them. you sign a lease and get the keys. You literally could get the keys and jump on a plane and go back to the US.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, that is how easy it is to get a place here. If you want to get a vehicle, go to the dealership, work out payment arrangements, put some money down, leave with the vehicle.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah. That's why I say the
Mm.
U.S. is a scam. It is a scam. I look at it like this: your social security number is basically your digital tracking for them. That is how they track you. It serves no other purpose. The first number of your social security tells you what part of the U.S. you're from.
Hmm.
People that are from Illinois, their social securities begin with 3. Like it is digital tracking at its best.
So when you're signing a
And when it
lease, you
comes,
don't need to put your social security number down in Thailand?
no, no, you put all of your contact information here. That's why, they ask for your passport and all of that, and you sign the lease. They give you the lease. You move in, and all the places are furnished,
Huh.
fully furnished. But if you move in, I don't like the couch in here at all because it's about the size of somebody that could lay on that's 4 foot tall. But
Right.
The size of me?
but it but if I wanted to, I could go to a furniture store, have my realtor let the complex know that I want to bring in my own couch, so they would take this, put it in storage, and move in my couch. You have the availability to move your own stuff in, but why would you? Why would you? Like, um, but if I was going to be in this one long term, I'd definitely get rid of this couch. But it is so easy. Like, you're like, why do they make our life so difficult in the US? Like, and it's really to divide and conquer. That, like, I've the separatism that happens there, the division that happens there is just is befuddling to me. Like, there's a million ways that they figure out how to divide us, and we
Yep.
think that that's living, and it's not. That is modern day slavery. Like, you don't get it until you've gone and lived places where that stuff doesn't apply. But U.S. citizens are slaves. We are slave. I don't consider myself a U.S. citizen anymore. I'm Thai, just so y'all know.
But I really
I,
think
I'm
you
I'm Thai.
touched I really think you touched on America, that the division that is created here, it's almost embedded in us when we're born, to the point that we naturally do it ourselves without even the government doing it, because that's all we've known is divide, divide,
Yep,
divide. So we're going to
yep,
judge the way someone dresses. We're going to judge the way they wear
yep,
their hair. We're going to literally judge
yep.
everything, divide. That's like all we know here is division. And I think that's honestly the biggest problem in America is the division.
You want to get Yes, you want to get to know yourself. Move someplace like Thailand. I've learned so much about myself. Is we have this idea, a lot of people's like, I live my life on my own terms. I do what I want to because I want to do it, and nobody is doing it. And when you leave the Western mentality and come someplace like this, you start thinking like, I wasn't doing that for me. I was doing that for everybody else. Like, because when you come out here, you realize they don't give a shit about what kind of shoes you're wearing and how expensive they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They don't care about your weight. Like, they don't care about your skin color. They don't care about how much money you have. Like, you move around this city, you see Lamborghinis, you see Ferraris, you see Bentleys.
But everybody treats each other the same regardless. If you're wearing a, you know, main brand or
Because
no brand.
you have to understand that they have access to the very same things that we have access to. But because we live in the US and they have monopolized things and they put this big price tag on everything, that our mentality is if it doesn't cost hundreds or thousands of dollars, then it's not real. It's cheap.
Hmm.
It's not of my standards. Like, but you have to understand everything you enjoy, the couch you're sitting on, the mic you're talking on, the phone you're using comes from here. Comes from here. It's all manufactured in Asia.
Yeah.
It's manufactured in Asia. The clothes you're wearing is manufactured in Asia. The shoes you're wearing, the purses you carry is manufactured in Asia. We've just been programmed to think that if it doesn't come with a hefty price tag, oh, it ain't. I don't want it. If a pair of shoes don't cost 200 plus, no, they ain't
It
real.
must not be good.
And, and we have that mentality. I talked to a lady about her, a longtime friend of mine. We was talking about purses because they were talking about the sales that they have out here on the name brand purses. And she was like, I would never buy a purse there and then come out here and pass it off as real. I'm like, your purse that you paid, she had a purse at the time that cost $8,000 when I was actually talking to her. It was a Birkin bag.
I was just gonna say it
Eight
was a Birkin
thousand
bag.
it was $8,000. And
Mhm.
I know manufacturers here because I've dug into them and done my research on them because of my apparel and plans that I have with my products and stuff. The manufacturer is either in Tokyo, China, or Thailand or Japan. Like, and you get that stuff here for pennies on a dollar. The idea is they come over here, the stuff is manufactured here. And I've said this to people, it's manufactured here and they may have a zipper put on it. And so they'll send the bags to like Italy or some of the fancier Italian leather places and really and truly the bag itself was made in Asia.
Mm.
Um, and they send it to Italy to put a zipper on. A zipper.
Damn.
You know what that then allows them to do? That
Jump the
allows
price
them
up
to
to
say that
8,000.
it's no, it allows them to say that it's made in Italy.
Mm.
Because you know when we see stuff in the US
Yeah.
that made in Korea, made in Thailand, we automatically think
Yeah.
cheap. It's not of good quality.
Or we're seeing
So and they
Americans
know
working
that.
them. Hmm.
And they know that. So they send it to places that carry the name.
Mm.
Like, oh, if it came from Italy, it must be high quality. You dummy. All of the stuff was made in Asia.
Mm.
Yeah. Like shoes, Nike shoes cost anywhere between $3 and $5 to make. The US gets it and jumps the price up to freaking
Two, three,
what,
four.
$200 for a pair of
Yep.
Jordans?
Yep.
When I can go 7 minutes from here and go to my lady that buys directly from the manufacturer. And when I say the manufacturer, I'm talking about the people that actually make the shoes, ship them to the US. The US puts that hefty price tag on them. And what? Don't get me wrong. There is a quality inspection that the everything goes through that it doesn't go through if you buy locally. And what I mean by that is it is the same item, but there's a quality inspection that it goes through that if a stitching is off, it won't make it to the US. If something is off, it won't make it to the US. It won't get that stamp to go ahead and go through the process. So what happens is the locals store owners They get those products and they put them on the shelves. And you would really never, unless you're a shoe connoisseur, you're not literally going through like, okay, that one stitch is off. Like that stitch ain't right. But you'll go buy that same shoe in the US for $200 and it's sitting on a shelf here for $30. But people from the US that come here won't buy that because, oh, that's fake. There's no such thing as fake. There's a such thing as levels of quality. And when you buy stuff here, they don't use the word fake because it's not fake. They say, oh, this is good quality and this is okay quality. And there is a price difference. If I buy a good quality shoe, I will pay like a Jordan that would be sitting on the shelf in Nike. If it's sitting on the shelf in a store here locally, it would cost me anywhere between 3,000 and 3,500 baht. 3,000 baht is a little bit less than $100. It's like $90. And that's the great quality. That's the quality that's being shipped to the US. But if I go by the mid-level quality, I can wear it around in the US and you guys wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But it would cost me 1,000 to 1,500 baht, which is $30 to $40 for that same shoe. So the mindset is, why would you pay, especially something you're walking around, you're getting dirty, you're kicking up dust, you know, it's gonna deteriorate in a matter of time, you're gonna get new ones. Why not go buy 5 or 6 pair of them for the price that you would get for one pair in the US? Like, but it's just that Western mentality. Like I said, it's like, and then she went on to explain that, oh, if I wanted to resell my bag, I could pretty much get what I paid for. Yeah, they purposely do that. They give you a guarantee on your bag because, dummy, you paid $8,000 for it.
Yeah.
I'll give you a replacement bag. I can give you 3 replacement bags because you've literally paid 8,000% for a bag.
Wow.
And you go to sales here, like they have these yearly sales in Bangkok, and those Birkin bags will run you anywhere between $500 and $1,000. And these are the bags that cost you anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 in the US. I had a group of guys here a few weeks ago that paid that married, went to the sales, brought back a ton of bags, and had their wives on the phone while they were shopping. I'm like, God help you. I'm glad. But before we end it, yeah, I knew it was coming. I just wanted to give you guys some statistics. Is that Thailand alone last year had 800,000 people move from the US to Thailand.
Wow.
Wow.
800,000. 800,000. I call it the mass exodus, and they're saying that I'm gonna read this. The mass exodus from the U.S. to Thailand is largely driven by Americans seeking geographic arbitrage to combat the high cost of living in states, remote flexibility, and a desire for higher quality of life. The lower cost of necessities, warm climate, and robust healthcare options make it highly appealing. Some of the key factors that are drawing Americans to Thailand: lower cost of living. Expats can maintain a comfortable lifestyle, in many cases stretch their retirement or remote salaries further on a fraction of what it would cost in the US. Quality healthcare, we talked about that. Remote work and digital nomad friendly. Lifestyle and culture. Thailand boasts tropical climate, diverse geography, from bustling cities like Bangkok to beach towns like Phuket and mountain towns like Chiang Mai, and rich culture heritage. and they make it so available for expats to move out here. Like I said, I talked about briefly about the retirement visa, but then you have like the DTV visa. Say like if you wanted to do yoga and you wanted to come out here and spend time out here learning yoga, you can get a visa to stay here to learn yoga. You can get a visa to stay here to learn martial arts. You can get a visa to stay here to learn cooking. You can get a visa to stay here to learn the language. You can
Wow.
get a visa to stay here to teach a language or teach. So they make it available to us. It's crazy that every place in the world except the US wants us.
Yeah.
And the US wants us out. And you think about it, and it's sad because other countries welcome us so much, and we do everything we can to keep immigrants out of the US. We demoralize them. We talk so much trash about them when the US itself was founded on an immigrant back.
Mhm.
They are willing to come in and do everything that we deem too good for us to do. And it's sickening. So if you're looking to get out of the US, please take it serious and understand that there's stuff coming down the pipeline that's gonna probably force your hand. Um, and so with me, I'm trying to get all of y'all, I'm trying to get my family, I'm trying to get everybody to get out and get the experiences of living abroad because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and suffer in silence. Get your ass up out of the U.S.
You know what? I looked into also becoming a dual citizen in another country if your grandparents, I was reading somewhere, if your grandparents are from another country and you have their birth certificate, you can actually become a dual citizen. Because that's something I
Yeah,
looked into because I'm like, Mom, where's my grandparent? Where's the birth certificate?
yeah,
Because that's something I could
yeah,
potentially do.
yeah,
So yeah, there are ways. I think a lot of people
yeah,
feel like they're stuck, like there's no way
yeah.
out.
Well, Africa is now, it has been for a little while now, offering blacks to, they're offering them citizenship, but they're also giving them land.
And right.
They're also helping
Nice.
them open businesses.
Mhm.
Um, Africa wants black people to move to the homeland.
Especially Ghana.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at getting a second place there. Is I want to be able to toggle between both places.
Yeah.
I want to learn some of that rich history, but I want that connectivity as well. So, if anybody that's listening to this want information on I'm looking at people on my socials, on what it's like to move abroad, need any information, my I'm available. And I encourage you guys to really take a look at what it's like to live abroad, because the quality of life that you can have is no comparison. If you think that you're doing well in the US, imagine how well that you can do somewhere else. But
Well, thank you,
uh
Tim. This
I'm
conversation was very enlightening today.
oh and I'm so glad to be not in studio but be back on the show.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah,
it's been
man.
great to
yes.
have you. Good to see
Yeah.
your face. Good seeing your face.
Look, I look, my face is almost gone. I'm down 30 pounds.
You look good.
Uh yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. And it wasn't difficult.
Mhm.
Like, it wasn't difficult at all. It's just that you just become so engulfed in the culture here to where you really do it and not even realize, because everybody here is healthy. You ain't gonna find a bunch of Thai people walking around with six-pack abs, but when you they are healthy and they live long lives. Like, I don't know what the life expectancy is for them, but and we think we get compliments for looking young, black people. Thai people, oh, they on a whole nother level of looking young. Like you're like, are you old enough to be in this club? And you get them like, I'm 35. What? But yeah, I'm learning a lot about the culture. I respect the culture, and they're teaching me a lot. And so, yeah, I'm waiting on y'all to get on out here,
Yeah,
get some of this
we're on our way.
culture.
Yeah, man.
All right, you guys. You guys have a blessed
All right. Love you.
rest of
Thanks.
your weekend. It is now my Monday, so I'm about to go hit the gym. And yeah, love you guys.
All right, man. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
Are you too?
Shoes off talk. I'm waiting for the music. Oh, wait, we didn't do our peace, love, and soul.
Yes. Peace.
Oh, as how we end all shows. Love,
Peace.
peace, and soul.
Take your shoes off at the door. Yeah, we getting real. Talking all the things they say you shouldn't feel. From locker room truths to Capitol lives.